Hello everyone, good afternoon. I'm just a few minutes late. I hope you're doing well, and I'm, as always, eager to communicate with you as much as I can through this digital medium. So hi, we have Divya. Let me know if you can hear me absolutely clearly. I am doing well. I'm doing well. I'm doing a little better with my coughing, which has been persistent with the Delhi air pollution for some time now, but a lot better than where I was a few weeks ago. And thank you so much for checking in with me. I hope you are doing well as well. Okay. Divyansh, nice to have you back in this session. Good. I'm assuming a lot of health, wellness, and fitness enthusiast people are here who are interested in how they can transform their lives and while they can transform other people's lives. So good to have you guys here. Soumya, nice to see you. So hello. Okay guys, today, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about health coaching and what it is and what it is not. But I will also add on to things like a science or background that is needed to become a health and wellness coach, or is it a specific age for me to become a health and wellness coach, and what can I do once I have become a health and wellness coach? How can I create a life for myself which is of abundance, right? You all want to have a good lifestyle for yourselves while you're helping other people to have a great lifestyle, but you also want to be financially independent and want to make money. So I'm going to talk about all of these things and as much as I can in the next 10 to 15 minutes. And obviously there are many more lives to come. And if you have any specific questions for me to answer, you can definitely type in the comment box and I'll be very happy to answer those questions for you. So let me get started. So there is a lot of confusion in the industry. I mean, it's gaining a lot of clarity now. Hi Rana. There's a lot of there has been a lot of ambiguity and uncertainty with respect to who a health and wellness coach is. I remember about 7 years ago when I came to India, when I was probably one of the first certified health and wellness coaches in the country, people really didn't get it. People didn't get that health coaches were more than nutritionists, or the scope of practice was different than that of a nutritionist or a exercise expert or a wellness guru. Right? So, and some of this misrepresentation or miscommunication still exists in the industry. So I'm going to really clarify for you who a health and wellness coach is and who actually needs them, and what you can do as a health and wellness coach, what falls within the scope of practice for a health coach. VK Singh, nice to see you as well. So guys, to be honest, health and wellness coaches are behavior change experts, right? And when I talk about behavior, our behavior is intrinsically tied into our lifestyle habits. Okay, habits on how we eat, where we eat, who we eat, and what we eat, right? Alongside with, do we exercise, do we not exercise? Are we a smoker? Am I not? Do I consume alcohol more than that is necessary? Do I have a lot of stress? These are other. Basically, stress, smoking, alcohol, nutrition, and lack of exercise are the top 5 reasons for most lifestyle diseases today. Having said that, these are all our lifestyle diseases are coming out of our poor lifestyle choices or our poor lifestyle habits, right? All the habits that I've talked about. So health and wellness coaches are actually behavior change experts because habits are formed in our brain. Okay, yes, there is some influences from our society, our upbringing, all of these external factors do affect and impact us, but truth be told, habits are actually formed in the brain. Okay, it's how we look. First we look at things from our eyes, and then the mind perceives that piece of information, the piece of information that the eye is seeing, the ear is listening, and there is perception of that information. And how we perceive life in general right? How we perceive life in general impacts on how we conduct our life, right? So it's very important to first correct our perception, right? So our perception of life and life in itself, excuse me, and the events really help us to make decisions or help us to act on information. Hence, habits are formed in the brain, because this is where the brain sees, say for example, a burger, right? Looks at a burger and says, okay, it looks good, smells good, and the mind says, should I eat it or should I not eat it? And a lot of times, if somebody is so used to eating junk food over and over again, it just bypasses this the time that is needed to perceive and calculate this information, should I eat it or should I not eat it, to direct consumption. It becomes automatic, right? So habits are formed in the brain. The brain is made of millions and millions of neurons that are constantly communicating and interacting with each other. And the neurons, when they communicate with each other, they form synapses, okay? So this is how the communication happens. So it's almost like electricity happening inside your brain every second, every microsecond, right? So when we get used to doing some things in our life, or everything in our life, the way we wake up, the way we sleep, the way we eat, the way we consume our food, the way we interact in our relationship, the way we look at life situations, whether we look at it as stress or as an opportunity for growth. So the neuro pathways, if we get habitual of thinking in a specific way, right, the brain creates rigid neuro pathways. Okay, now you no longer even have to think, you're just going to act, right? Because you've gotten used to acting in that way for 5, 10, 15, 20 years. So change habits, we have to change the way we think, right? The way we perceive the world. And we have to change how the neurons are communicating with each other and are forming synapses or creating neural pathways. So we have to change the neural pathway. We have to create new pathways in our brain. So that is why health coaches are trained on behavioral science, on neuroscience, on neuroplasticity, because beyond that, anything that you can tell a person, change this, change that, eat better, sleep better, do this, do that, that's just a piece of information that not necessarily will translate into action. So health coaches bridge the gap from information to action, inspire people, motivate people. Hence they are trained on coaching psychology, motivational psychology, positive psychology, right? So human psychology and coaching psychology are integral pieces that the coaches are trained on. Hence a lot of nutritionists and fitness trainers and doctors do our program, because they say, okay, we're telling people what to do, but they're actually not doing it, right? Today in the morning I was having a conversation with a leading health coach in America, and we were having a very spirited conversation. And she said when she was working in the hospital setup, and a lot of times we ask our patients or clients, tell me what's wrong, right? We always ask what's wrong. Instead, in a coaching language, you would actually ask your client, tell me what's going well for you, right? You see the shift of the dialogue. So the coaches are actually trained on positive psychology. How do I motivate? How do I inspire change in people? How do I help them to have clarity about their life, their whole wellness vision, which is across 8 dimensions of wellness: physical, emotional, social, spiritual, occupational, mental, occupational well-being. So they're trained on how do I work with a person from a whole person perspective. They are trained on helping the client to take accountability for their lives, right? देखिए, चेंज तो ऐसे ही नहीं होने वाला है, ठीक है? आप किसी को बोल देंगे चेंज हो जाएगा, ऐसे नहीं होने वाला है. चेंज तभी होएगा जब वो बंदा or that lady or that man wants to make a change. Change cannot be an imposition. Change has to be an inspiration, right? So the coaches are able to based on evidence-based information on nutrition, mind, body science, exercise physiology, integrative health principles. How do adults learn positive psychology, and able to help clients get clarity with respect to where they want to get, and help them to facilitate that journey by capitalizing on their strengths, their abilities, helping them to overcome their personal barriers and obstacles and mindsets. Right? So I kind of told you what health coaches do. Health coaches generally, what do they do not do? They do not prescribe, diagnose and treat. That is the role of the doctor. Right? The doctor will look into your eye, look into your nose, look into your throat, examine you. So the health coach doesn't need to touch a client. Hence, health coaching all around the world, pre-COVID, 70% of health coaching in the world was done digitally. Today, 100% of the coaching in the world is done 100% is done digitally right now. And it's almost like health coaching is a profession where you're almost packing in 4 different practitioners in one, because they're talking about nutrition, they're talking about exercise physiology, they're talking about mind, body, peaceful embodiment of their life. There's so many things that health coaches are doing. So it's almost packing in so many practitioners in one. And what they're really doing, what coaches are really trained on, is how do I listen deeply to my client? How do I connect with my client? I remember a time when I was sitting at the Max Hospital, and the nurses were always puzzled. Why is this happening that from her room, tissue boxes after tissue boxes get empty? Why is that? Every day or every 2 days or 3 days, we have to bring her a new tissue box into her room, into her cabin. One day they came up to me and said, Preeti, why is this happening? Why are so many tissue boxes going away? What is happening in that room? Because they were very curious. They were very puzzled, because that was not happening in a doctor's cabin. So they came up to me and they asked me, and I said, listen, most people are not heard. Sometimes even our spouses, our boyfriends, girlfriends, husbands, parents, in-laws, closest friends don't hear us completely. So healing begins when somebody is being heard, right? In the conventional clinical model, we're not listening. The average amount of time the doctor spends with the patient is 5 to 7 minutes, where the patient probably gets to talk maybe 2 minutes or 3 minutes, right? Most of the time, the doctor is dominating that conversation, giving very little time for them to evaluate the root cause of the problem, help them with lifestyle, and doctors are anyways not trained on lifestyle intervention. So that's another role that coaches will play. Hence, the coaches will bridge the gap from doctors to the patients, right? We'll work alongside with doctors and help patients in compliance of medical advice that has been given, right? Because compliance is very cool. आप जहाँ पे भी देख लो कितने लोगों को भी दवाई दी गई है, जब भी दवाई दी है लोग टाइम पे दवाई नहीं खाते हैं, है ना? उसको ठीक से फॉलो नहीं करते जो डॉक्टर्स का प्रिस्क्रिप्शन होता है. So compliance is really, really important. So while they focus on compliance, they also look at lifestyle changes which will help improve their health outcomes, right? So coaches do not diagnose, prescribe, treat. They don't tell people what to do. They inspire people to make a change and take accountability for their lives. Now, should somebody be from a science background to be a health and wellness coach? Is it necessary? Absolutely not. It's not necessary for somebody to be from a science background to be a health and wellness coach. You could come from arts, business studies, humanities, what you call as arts again. Any stream, as long as you have a passion for health and wellness and you're always curious about, improving your life and also creating an impactful difference to somebody's life. What we've seen in our program is coaches who come to our program have a very strong reason to come there. They have battled some real lifestyle challenges or life situations. Some have battled cancer. Some people have gone through a turbulent relationship, divorce, separation. Some people have helped their parents bounce back from diabetes or hypertension. Some people have helped somebody not to commit suicide. Some people have lost a lot of weight themselves or helped somebody else lose weight. So, the kind of people that we tend to attract are people who are, they want to help others. it means something to them to help others. I think as long as that passion to create a paradigm shift in somebody's life, that passion to make a difference in somebody's life and to impact them, to nurture them, as long as that passion is there, anybody can become a health and wellness coach. You don't need a master's degree to become a health and wellness coach, but you do need a master's degree aptitude to become a health and wellness coach. Okay, so I just wanted to tell you the energy that we see in our faculty, the kind of energy that we see in our class cohort. Now, the next question I get constantly asked is, I recently had a beautiful conversation with this woman who was about 56 years old. And she said, Preeti, I've done my work, what I wanted to do. I really want to do what I love to do. But I am 56. Can I become a health and wellness coach now? And my answer to her was, why don't you use your wisdom to your advantage? Right? There is no age to become a health and wellness coach. Right? There is absolutely no age. Nobody can say, okay, if I'm 56 or 60 or 65, I can't become a health coach. Personally, I came into this journey. I went back to do my second master's when I was almost about 36. Who am I to talk about age? I had my first baby when I was 38. So there you go. So age has nothing to do with it. It's not necessary for you to have come from a science background. It's not necessary for you to have a clinical or medicinal or healthcare sort of a background to become a successful health and wellness coach. Second is, age is not a criteria, right? A lot of people in India and world over have a better clarity of what they are called to do in this universe later in their life, right? Sometimes in the first decade, in our 20s, sometimes even in our 30s, we are conforming to society. मेरे पेरेंट्स चाहते हैं कि मैं डॉक्टर बनूं, मेरे पेरेंट्स चाहते हैं मैं इंजीनियर बनूं, मेरे पेरेंट्स चाहते हैं कि मैं नौकरी करूं, मेरे पेरेंट्स चाहते हैं मैं शादी करके बच्चे पैदा करूं, right? So there are obviously people will always, impose their ideas for what your life should be. And sometimes we get, because the society is telling us to behave in a certain way, to conduct in a certain way, to live in a certain way, and to make choices in our life, whether that is life partners, whether that is where I want to make money, what kind of work I want to do. So we are constantly influenced. और हमारा वजूद, हमारा खुद का वजूद इतना स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं होता कि हम कह सकते हैं कि नहीं, I disagree with you, that is not who I am, this is who I am, this is what I'm called to do. So a lot of times people don't have clarity of their own life vision, their sense of purpose, meaning in their life, और कहते हैं ना कि मैं कौन हूँ, मुझे कहाँ से खुशी मिलती है. More often than not, most people don't know that. So if you don't know that, you're going to be confused. Right? And that is why I believe in the wellness dimension, your spiritual dimension is very important. Unless you have a clarity of what your vision in life is, right? जब तक आपके अपने values के बारे में आपको पता नहीं है, आपको अपने beliefs के बारे में पता नहीं है, आपके अपना वजूद नहीं बनाया आपने, तो आपको हमेशा life में confusion होगा, right? You're going to be confused about how you should take care of yourself physically, emotionally, mentally, relationships, everywhere else, right? So a lot of people, who am I to say, or who is the industry to say that is after a certain age somebody cannot become a health coach? Just like anybody can become anything else, as long as they have a passion and grit and resilience to do that, and that is irrespective of age, right? So age is not a challenge. You can be 25, 27, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60 if you want to become a health coach. Age is not a challenge. In fact, every age group has different set of challenges. The youth has different set of challenges. The 30s who are getting married and having children and families and multitasking so many things, they have other challenges. The 40s have other challenges. The 50s has another challenge. So we can have health coaches catering to each one of these age groups. And I was saying that a lot of times in our earlier years, in our 20s, in our 30s, we get influenced by society's perception of who we should be. And it has happened to me. Who am I talking about? It has happened to me, where society's expectation of who I should be and what I should do and who I should marry has influenced my decisions, right? And I'm talking about real life. So, but when you grow a little older, when you see life and you understand the way you perceive life, your prism of life is different than how other people perceive their life, right? When that happens, a lot of people make career changes. A lot of people make career changes, and that's okay. That's absolutely okay, because by the time a lot of people are in their 30s, 30 or 40, 45, they finally have clarity of what they were called to do. So we tend to attract a lot of health coaches in that segment. So I've talked a lot, more than maybe what is required for the session. I do see some comments here which I want to address. Diva says, bye, actually you're good, but I need to learn some more things. I am more from a technical department, so please don't mind. I like you. Have a wonderful day. Doesn't matter. Divyansh, please know I sold technology. For a major part of my life, I was a major account director in a leading not a leading but mid-sized technology company in America. Before that, I was selling technology. I managed international markets for technology. Listen, I did technology. Before that, I was in luxury retail. Okay, so it doesn't matter. That you come from a technical background, you don't come from a science background. As long as you're passionate about health, wellness and fitness, because when somebody comes into the program to wanting to become a health and wellness coach, it's a level playing field, Divyansh, okay? If it's a doctor, nurse, chiropractor, Ayurvedic doctor, or homemaker, a teacher, a nutritionist, and an engineer, when they come into the program, it's a level playing field for everybody, because what is new for you is equally new for a doctor who may have 20 years of experience. Sometimes doctors may struggle to come out of the expert role and come into the coach role. So don't worry about it that you come from a technical background or don't come from a science background. I am a prime example of that. I told you I sold technology for the longest period of time. Before that, I was in luxury retail. So if I can do it, so can you. Okay? And I did it while I was having a little baby, and I was already in my 40s when I started. I was about 38, 39 when I started Welgie. Sorry, almost about 40 when I started Welgie. So don't worry about it. Age is not a problem. Background is not a problem. Any other questions, guys? I'm going to just wear my glasses because I can't read the finite verbatim. So I want to just see if anybody has anything. So Divyansh says, I have improved with your advice. Actually, I left tea and doing some yogas and left, honestly, lost weight, approximately 3 kgs. Wonderful, Divyansh. Congratulations for doing that. 3 kgs is a good loss of weight, and looks like you're trying to motivate yourself and you're trying to cut down on some of your unhealthy activities. Do keep coming in, keep getting inspired. I'm happy to help you in this journey, and I'm glad that these live conversations were able to add some value to your life. Okay, so let me just see if there's anything else. Guys, please type into the comment box if you want me to answer any particular questions that you may have. Yeah, I see that you've lost weight. Great. Keep going on. I can tell you this, when I was pregnant and I was 16 kgs, right? More. Weight. That was the first time I realized how difficult it is to carry all of that excess weight. And it's not easy, and it's not easy to lose that weight. It requires a lot of discipline, dedication, and persistence. So congratulations. May you continue to accomplish all your health, wellness, and fitness goals. Bye bye, my dear. Love you too. Take care of yourself. Any other questions? I'll probably answer in a few more questions if there are any. Hi Manish, I didn't get to say hi to you. Hi Vivek, hi Lokesh, hi Kriyansh, Then Veer. Prisoner 007, please, my God, you don't want to be a prisoner of anything in life. Coach yourself. I don't know your name. Kaylee, hi. Nice to see you guys all. And Ganesh, you just joined. Oh my God, I just finished the talk, but I was talking for, my God, 25 minutes. So hopefully I will see you again next week. We were talking about what health coaches do, what they don't do, and what's happening in the space and what kind of people become health coaches and so on and so forth. Hopefully, Ganesh, you will rock it because you're Rocky Ganesh, and I will see you in the next live and we will dive into it. If there are any specific topics, guys, you want me to talk about in the next few weeks, definitely let me know. Otherwise, wish you a Merry Christmas and a very Happy New Year in advance. Take care for now. Ciao. Bye.